let's just cut right to the core of it. I want to start with a question, and I need you to be brutally honest with yourself when you answer it.
You know exactly the ones I'm talking about, don't you? That same argument you have with your parents that never, ever gets resolved. That same standoff with your partner that feels like you're reading from a script. That same deep-seated frustration with that one colleague who always, somehow has the upper hand. These patterns are on a constant loop, and man, they feel deeply, deeply personal.
You've probably spent your whole life thinking it's about personality clashes, right? Bad attitudes, emotional immaturity. Well, I'm here to tell you that's a comforting lie. The actual truth is way more unsettling. These conflicts aren't just random emotional flare-ups. No, they are the predictable, almost calculated outcomes of a hidden architecture of power that's running your life. And on this channel, Unspoken Rules, we don't just talk about that architecture. We take a sledgehammer to it. We dismantle it piece by piece.
So the very first step to seeing the real game is to just throw out the language you've been taught to use. Society loves to slap these neat little moral labels on everything, but those labels are a complete smokescreen. They're not designed to reveal the mechanics of power, they're designed to hide them.
Just think about it. Is a parent really controlling, or are they just caring? Is a child ungrateful, or are they being courageous? These aren't explanations, they're emotional judgments. They're mental shortcuts that stop you from asking the one question that actually matters. Why does this behavior keep happening even when it's obviously causing so much pain? The answer is never in the label. It's in the structure underneath.
Okay, so if looking at this through a moral lens is a dead end, what's the right lens? What is the real engine that's driving these repetitive, often destructive patterns in our lives? To get to the bottom of that, we need a whole new framework.
And that new framework revolves around a concept we call Genshin's. Now, let's be clear. This isn't some fuzzy psychological theory about your feelings. It's a structural framework. Think of it like an architectural blueprint for human interaction. It maps out the invisible forces that are compelling you to act, whether you realize it or not. Genshin's is this layered system of motivations that dictates literally everything. How you negotiate, why you stay, or when you finally break away from any relationship. And at the absolute core of Genshin's is the idea of return. It works like this. A behavior sticks around not because it's healthy or logical, but because it gives the person's system something it needs. It provides a return. You know that colleague who complains constantly? It seems totally self-defeating, but the return they're getting isn't happiness, it's attention, or maybe it's a sense of moral superiority. The system, it demands a return. It could be stability or dignity or meaning, and it will get that return, even if it has a massive emotional cost for everyone else involved. Now, take a look at these 4 layers: biological, material, psychological, existential. This is where the engine of conflict really ignites. Imagine a parent operating from the material layer. All they care about is financial security for their kid. But the child is operating from the psychological layer, fighting for their own sense of identity and dignity. You see, the conflict isn't really about love or respect. It's a structural mismatch. These are non-negotiable needs clashing. In this framework, nobody is wrong. They're just defending completely different layers of their own existence. So let's scale this up. This framework isn't just for family drama. It is the fundamental operating system of the entire professional world where, let's be honest, the rules are way more ruthless. In that world, the currency isn't love, it's information. And the single most potent power move is to withhold it. We call it knowledge hiding in the workplace. And this isn't just, oops, I forgot to forward you that email. No, this is a conscious, intentional, strategic choice to hide knowledge from a colleague who has specifically asked for it. You see it every single day. And it's not a character flaw, it's a calculated move on the corporate chessboard. It's a tool for survival, and it's a tool for advancement. And this is not some new corporate fad. It is a timeless principle of power. Robert Greene nailed it. Powerful people intimidate by saying less, because silence creates a vacuum, and it makes other people uncomfortable. It forces them to start talking, to reveal their own information, to show you their cards. So by holding your tongue, you're not being passive at all. You are actively transferring all of the psychological pressure onto your opponent. But, and this is where it gets really, really interesting, the effectiveness of these power moves, especially a move like strategic silence, it's not universal. It's all programmed into you by your cultural operating system. What signals incredible power in one country signals debilitating weakness in another. To really get this, we have to look at something called the Power Distance Index, or PDI. This is such a crucial metric.
It basically measures how much a culture accepts and expects inequality and hierarchy. It determines whether you're supposed to challenge your boss or just obey them without question.
And right here, this is where that cultural code becomes crystal clear. Just look at the perception of silence. In a high PDI culture, let's say Malaysia, a leader's silence is a weapon. It projects authority. It reinforces the hierarchy. Now look at the low PDI column. In places like the US or Denmark, that exact same silence from a leader signals weakness, disengagement, maybe even that they're incompetent. The same action has the complete opposite effect. It's not about the person. It's about the program. Your cultural software dictates the rules of the game you're forced to play every single day.
So now, let's bring this whole framework into the world we all actually live in now, the digital battlefield. Because online, every one of these psychological mechanisms has been weaponized by algorithms, and they've created a psychological prison of conformity that's more powerful than anything that has ever existed before.
The theory behind it is called the spiral of silence, and it's based on a simple, brutal human instinct. Your fear of being socially isolated, of being cast out from the tribe, is so powerful that you will literally silence your own opinions if you even think you might be in the minority. This is the core mechanism that enforces conformity.
But digital technology has put this basic human fear on steroids. I mean, look at this table. The fear of isolation used to be getting shunned in your small town. Now in the digital context, it's getting harassed by a global online mob. The public sphere used to be a few big TV networks. Now it's shattered into a million little echo chambers, all run by algorithms. And this is the most important part. Look at expression. Your words used to be temporary. Now they are permanent. They're searchable. They can be used against you forever. The system isn't just encouraging you to be silent, it is engineering your silence on a massive scale.
So let me ask you this. The next time you decide not to post that comment, or not to share that article, or not to voice your actual opinion, is that really your choice? Or are you just running the program that this entire digital architecture was specifically designed to install in you? The reality is this. The world operates on a complex set of unspoken rules. Rules of power, of structure, of control. And the vast majority of people will go through their entire lives as pawns on this board. They'll feel the consequences of every move, but they will never, ever understand the game itself. They'll mistake structure for personality, and they'll mistake their programming for free will.
And that brings you right here to this moment, to a choice. You can click away from this, go back to the comfortable illusion and pretend none of this exists. Or you can make a commitment right now to understanding the game, to finally seeing reality as it actually is, not as you wish it were. So the question is simple. Will you continue to live in ignorance, or are you going to hit that subscribe button and commit to seeing the truth? Join the people who refuse to be pawns. The choice is yours.